I'm Jennifer Torres, reporter with CMSWire, and this is CMO Circle, our chance to get together with a different CMO and ask them a few questions in a Q&A format. Today, I'm very excited to welcome Liz Carter, Chief Marketing Officer at Reputation. Welcome, Liz.
Hi, thank you. Excited to be here.
Well, we're very happy to have you, and we'll get right to the first question. So what inspired you towards a career in marketing? How did you get your start in this industry?
Well, I kind of fell into a career in marketing. That's how I like to put it. I got out of college, and frankly, I was an English major. I moved to Atlanta with a bunch of girlfriends, and I ended up taking a job at a tech company in Atlanta in events. They needed event support. They were losing an employee. It was like a team of 3. And they were losing someone on their team. So they were looking for a person with a lot of experience, but they wanted to hire a sort of contractor to make do during the time that they were trying to fill this role. And so it was event marketing, which I didn't even know what that meant. But I like to say that it's really what grounded me in the sort of overarching world of marketing, right? Running events and being a part of the team that builds out a trade show experience or a kickoff experience for a company is a way in which you really see all the elements of marketing and the cross-functional relationships that marketing has play out. And so it was so fun in the very beginning, running these events, learning about what it meant to work with the product marketing team or the field marketing team or the PR team, on how to manage all these different aspects for one event. And that's really what inspired me to just keep learning and growing in my career and expanding sort of the knowledge that I had. And so I really credit sort of starting in that event world as how I kind of, found a love for marketing.
Great. Well, question number 2. How do you approach the ever-changing landscape of digital marketing and emerging technologies? For example, generative AI is all the talk these days. There's all kinds of new tools coming out. How do you keep up?
Oh my goodness, it is hard. I mean, I guess what I would say is I read and I try to learn. I try to learn from my peers. Places like LinkedIn, just where your peers are posting about things that they're doing. And today's marketing technology companies that are in the MarTech space are constantly wanting to educate marketers, right? I mean, that's what they're there to do. So there's a ton of content out there, right? And so I think for me, it is a matter of trying to stay up with what is going on. It is partnering with vendors that I believe are on the cutting edge or have an idea of how to continue to leverage new technologies like generative AI in their solutions that they provide to us. And as a company, like we're having a marketing mid-year offsite, and I think we're going to talk about AI. As a marketing team, what should we be looking for, doing, or using? And sort of just bringing the team together to talk through. So I feel like trying to stay up with the content and then really making it an environment on my team to sort of bring new ideas all the time.
All right. Question number 3. Can you provide an example of a successful marketing campaign that your team executed recently, and what were the key factors that contributed to the success of it?
Sure. So, I'm a little over 6 months into my role at Reputation. So, I have been getting my arms around, all the various aspects of the marketing team that we have here, the way in which we go to market as an organization, what our customers are doing with our products and solutions. And when I got here, one of the things that Reputation does really well is they put together these reports for specific industries where our customers come from. And so what I understood is there was a healthcare report that was about to come out that our team had been working cross collaboratively with our data science organization around what's happening in the healthcare industry when it comes to reputation management and customer experience. And so what we did differently was we really worked across the company to educate everybody on what the report was going to say, how it was coming together, what that meant for new customer acquisition, as well as like what the value of that was for our current customers. And so we put together not just the content, the report, but actually a sort of multi-channel approach to getting that report out there, and then having a very cross-functional way of doing outbound and inbound marketing with that report. And so it was one of the first kind of campaigns that we did as a team since I came on board. And I felt like it really was an opportunity for the team to see how we could work really collaboratively, not just within marketing, but across some of the other teams that we work with and support. And so I'm happy to say it was really well received. We had over 300 downloads in a pretty quick amount of time, influenced over 4 million in pipeline. And so what's really important to me is making sure we track those metrics, right, and are able to report back to the business what we did well, and how we can improve next time.
Well, speaking of that, what metrics do you measure to gauge the effectiveness of your marketing investments?
Yes, well, obviously pipeline is huge. So understanding where pipeline is coming from, what channels of ours are most effective. And then also, one of the things that I did when I first got here was spend a lot of time with the marketing ops team, the sales ops team, to understand what our go-to-market channels look like, how we're doing from an inbound and outbound perspective, and what it is that we need to drive the business, right, in order to hit our goals, revenue goals for the year. And so we built a demand model. And one of the things that we're going to do or continue to do is each quarter look back at what that model said. How did we actually, perform? And what's that telling us, right? And I mean, the reality is this was the first time building a demand model in the way that we did. Not that the company hadn't had one, but it's not going to be perfect, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to see 100% across all the metrics. I think what really gets interesting is when you can go back to it and say, okay, how much pipeline did we drive through these channels? Where did we overperform? Where did we underperform? And a lot of it has to do with conversion rates and velocity and the average size deal, right? Like those are the things you have to track, not just the how much pipeline was created, but those metrics actually really matter. So those are the things that we like to track and look back to tell us how we're doing.
Okay, great. Well, what advice would you give to somebody who is considering entering the field of marketing, or who's just entered the field, and maybe one day they would like to become a CMO?
Oh, wow. Well, what I would say is, first of all, marketing is a creative, collaborative environment, right? So if that is like part of what drives you, I think, marketing is a great career path. And I think if you want to grow your career, you have to be willing to sort of take new challenges, or maybe do a lateral move within the marketing team to understand a different area of marketing than you did before, right? I mean, I think that everybody sort of sees the career ladder as a upward movement always. And I would say one of the things that I think made a difference for me was being able to take some time to say, okay, well, I'm gonna learn something new. I may not be moving up, but I'm actually learning. I'm expanding the world of which I will understand better, right, moving forward. And I think that makes just as much of a difference as actually taking a step up. And so those are the things I would think about as you're thinking about a career in marketing, and also just a career in leadership. I think those are things that make you more well-rounded as a leader.
Well, that's good advice. Thank you. I really enjoyed speaking to you today. Thank you for joining us. This has been Liz Carter, CMO at Reputation. And Liz, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It was great to talk to you.
All right. This is Jennifer Torres with CMO Circle, and we'll see you next time.